You want to lower your A1C, you want to lower your blood sugar spikes. There's nothing else on the market that was created for this purpose that delivers on that promise. And that's really what we have.
Pendulum invited me to their San Francisco headquarters as an independent reviewer to take you behind the scenes of their facilities and show you what it takes to make a probiotic unlike any other on the market.
We set out to solve a problem. It wasn't about general gut health. It wasn't about an idea that you might be healthier if you took a probiotic. It was that if you have a problem metabolizing sugar, there are microbes in your gut who are helping you metabolize that, and we're going to give it back to you if you're having issues with metabolizing sugar.
Nearly a decade of research and development went into creating this new probiotic and facility, but it all started with 3 biologists and one very big dream.
We had this vision that you could create products that had the efficacy of a drug, but the safety of a probiotic. And that was the promise of the microbiome. And we had this technological advantage, understanding how to use DNA sequencing to unwrap what was in the microbiome and what it was telling us.
The type of strains that we're discovering that have an impact are the ones that live in your colon. These are the ones that you're going to have to learn how to grow and grow at scale and understand their function more clearly. And that's not the standard kind of bifidose and lactose that are available in our kind of mixed and matched. I think whenever other people refer to something being novel, what they mean is they combine it differently. They don't mean that it's a completely new strain.
And with the creation of these new strains came a fair share of hurdles along the way.
One of the things I think that many people didn't appreciate or know when we all started studying the microbiome is that where all the heavy-hitting microbes are located in your colon, there's no oxygen there. And so what it means practically is that you have to create a plant that from the beginning to the end is entirely a closed system where no oxygen can get in.
So the team got creative, starting with a complete overhaul of their facilities.
We've had to really build the manufacturing out ourselves, and that has been something entirely novel. It hasn't been done before.
We, in essence, gutted out all of the inside of it. The bottom is entirely restructured to build out the fermentation tanks and the kind of production suites that we knew that we needed to be able to build out at the scale that we needed to get to.
Each room in this facility has a story behind it and plays an important role in the formulation process.
The room, which has a lot of the basically gas tanks we use to, in essence, bubble out the oxygen, as it were.
Every microbiome company that is developing innovative strains and formulations that are born from microbiome science is facing this same problem. And so we're really the first company to manufacture at scale because we are developing and selling a consumer product, and it's been a real challenge. I would never say there was an overnight success. It's been hard work.
The team had to invent their own tools and repurpose their equipment to grow these bacteria strains and keep oxygen out in the process.
The foam that you see is actually some of the byproduct of the strains as they're growing, because they release gas. And actually that was one of the things that we had to work around in the beginning, finding ways to have that gas released in such a fashion that there isn't then contamination coming back in. So you have to have these kind of clever filter systems, et cetera. Now it's fairly sophisticated. I remember the first version of that was a glove on top of a 1 liter box, which was very funny because then it just ballooned out.
From batch to bottle, the whole process takes around 3 months to complete, give or take some of the challenges along the way.
Everything has to remain cold. Everything has to remain oxygen-free. These are very finicky strains. Some of them behave well one day, and then the next day they don't behave well, and we're still trying to figure all of that out.
Something we joke around, like each of the strains is like your kids. And we talk about like some of they're our favorite. This one's behaving well. This one, not so well. It's a constant learning process. And we're honing in, we're getting better and better at it, but that's one of the things that I sort of use as a pep talk with my team whenever there's kind of a new surprise around the corner. It's that we're getting better at it, but it doesn't mean that everything it always goes as smoothly as you want it to.
Which leads us to Pendulum's price and the important factors that play into the cost.
We don't take any shortcuts on quality. We don't take any shortcuts on viability. In fact, we're really conservative when it comes to viability. We want to make sure that each pill is jam-packed with all active strains. And that means sometimes we're throwing out batches that we made. That means sometimes we're having to double down on how much powder we're putting in because the viability wasn't as high as we thought it was supposed to be. And so there were definitely periods where we have sold bottles at a loss. And with the hope and the knowledge that we can drive down the costs eventually and that we can translate those cost savings to our customers.
And so coming back to the company's vision, Pendulum sought to create a probiotic unlike any on the market. It took 10 years and trillions of bacteria strains, but this resilient team of scientists figured it out. They've got the clinical data to back up their claims and a personal stake in quality assurance.
By ensuring that we want to have the highest quality product, it's all being manufactured in the US, and it's all being manufactured at the kind of quality that you would expect, that you would want to give to your own mother, that you would want to give to your own child. And I do. My mom takes this probiotic, I take it, my daughter takes it, and so it has to be at that quality.